Hi guys, welcome to Storytime. Welcome everyone. Storytime has just begun. Welcome one, welcome all. Come on in, we'll have a ball. How is everyone today? I hope you're doing well. Welcome to Storytime. I miss you all, but I'm glad we get to meet by video. I'm Miss Patty, I'm at the Lincoln Public Library, and our Storytime today is going to be about animals and how they get ready for winter and what they do in winter. This is going to be a nice new theme that we're going to be reading about for the next few weeks as we move into winter and snowy weather. There are a lot of good books on that subject. So, before we get started, let's sing hello. We clap and sing hello. We clap and sing hello. We're all here for story time. We clap and sing hello. We wave and say hello. We wave and say hello. We're all here for story time. We wave and say hello. We nod and say hello. We nod and say hello. We're all here for story time. We nod and say hello. Well, hey, hi, hi, ho. There are many ways to say hello. I'm Miss Patty, and who are you? I'm at the Lincoln Library, and where are you? Are you at home? Or are you watching me from somewhere else? I don't know. But I hope you're enjoying this. And again, we're going to talk about the animals and what they do in winter and how they get ready. Because right now, we're in late fall. It's almost winter. It's not quite here yet. But there are animals getting ready for winter. Sometimes you see squirrels, just like the ones I'm wearing, getting some acorns and nuts all ready so that they have something to eat in the winter, because they don't see too much of that stuff around when there's snow on the ground. And some animals sleep all winter. You might know that deers sleep in the winter. Look at this guy. He's in a cave. He's inside the cave. Comes out when the weather gets warm to get some fresh air. He stays out all summer in the sunshine and the heat. He hunts in the forest for berries to eat. But when the snow starts to fall, he hurries inside his warm little cave. And there he will hide. Snow covers the cave like a fluffy little white rug. And inside he sleeps all cozy and snug. Looks like he's taking a nice little sleep. Big bear, hunting near the trees, feasting on the honeycomb made by bees. Big bear, swimming in the lake. Fish is his favorite dish. Which one will he take? Swish, swish, swish. Big bear, resting in your den, sleeping through winter before you're out again. Big bear taking a nap. And sleeping in the winter is called hibernating. That's a long word. And there are a lot of other animals that hibernate too. Let's see who some of them are and where they go and what they do. Well, bears, when it gets cold, they snuggle inside so they don't freeze. And raccoons sleep in trees. And snakes dig deep holes under the ground. There he is. Chipmunks also nap way down deep. Let's see, where is that chipmunk? There he is. He's way down deep. And hedgehogs use leaves for beds to sleep. Here's a hedgehog. Bats hang upside down and sleep so sound. Whoops, he goes this way, because that's the sky up there. He's upside down. What do some other animals do in winter? Let's read a little bit about them. The squirrel is digging for nuts. Squirrels stay home and adapt in winter. The squirrel buries the nuts in the fall so he can save them and eat them when there are no more nuts in the winter. What else have we got here? Ooh, here are some geese. They're flying to a warmer place in the winter. That's called migrating. Another long word. Flying to a nice warm place. cozy winter coat. Foxes stay home, and they just adapt in the winter, which means that they adjust to the cold weather. It doesn't bother them. And that's a nice warm coat they wear. Fish swim under the ice. They're staying home, and they just adjust to the cold water and the cold weather. Doesn't bother them. Oh, and here's the bear again, hibernating. Remember we just said that word. In a nice cozy cave. That's what they all do in winter. Some sleep, but some don't. Oh, and here are some more bears. Let's see. 10 of them in a bed. 10 bears in a bed, and a little one said, roll over, roll over. So they all rolled over, and one fell out, and there were 9 left in the bed. And the little bear said, roll over, roll over. So they all rolled over, and one fell out. So then there were 8 in the bed, and the little bear said, roll over, roll over. So they all rolled over, and one fell out, which left us 7 in the bed. And the little one said, roll over, roll over. So they all rolled over, and one fell out. So then there were 6 in the bed, and the little bear said, roll over, roll over. So they all rolled over, and one fell out. So then there were 5 in the bed, and the little bear said, roll over, roll over. So they all rolled over, and one bear fell out, leaving 4 in the bed, and the little bear said, roll over, roll over. So they all rolled over, and one fell out, leaving us 3 bears in the bed. Little one said, roll over, roll over. So they all rolled over, and one fell out, which leaves 2 bears in the bed. Little one said, roll over, roll over. So they all both rolled over, and one fell out. And then we had 1 in the bed, and the little one said, roll over, roll over. So he rolled over and said, only. But he still rolled over, leaving none in the bed. It's a great big bed with no bears left. Isn't that a silly one? So, let's get up and move to our movement cards, which is all about woodland animals. Let's see what we got. A deer says, leap like a deer. So, leap, 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 leap like a deer. And then we've got the chipmunk. It says, skimper like a chipmunk. What's a skimper? I think maybe like this. They take little steps. And move backwards like a mole. Let's see. We'll go this way. Doing the backwards walk. Hibernate like a bear. My friend here. That's a restless sleep. And howl like a wolf, or pretend to howl at the moon. Howl, 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 way up high. Tweet like a bird. Let's move from side to side and give a little tweet, 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 tweet. Flap your wings, tweet, tweet. And scurry like a mouse. Mice are really quick. Scurry, 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 all the way front and back. And, ooh, I've never seen a flying squirrel, but let's fly. Arms out, way out wide, up and down, up and down, up and down, just like a flying squirrel. And walk like a bear. 4 legs, taking big, big steps like a bear. before it's time to sleep, of course. Sneak around like a raccoon. Let's be sneaky. And stand tall like a moose. Raise your antlers way up high. Arms up, like you have antlers coming out of your head. And stretch up. Turn your head like an owl. We can't turn our heads all the way around like owls do, but we can turn them from side, 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 to side, and side, to side. And waddle like a groundhog. And you move kind of slowly, waddling around. Spray like a skunk. We don't have tails, but we can pretend to spray. And how about if we wave our tail from this way and spray, spray, and spray. Next, let's soar like a bat. Those wings way out wide. Soar around in the sky. And pounce like a fox. We got next. Bounce like a rabbit. And move slow like a porcupine. And that's a woodland animal. Hope you're all nice and stretched out and ready for a story. If you want to hear a story, clap your hands. If you want to hear a story, clap your hands. If you want to hear a story, if you want to hear a story, if you want to hear a story, clap your hands. If you want to hear a story, stamp your feet. If you want to hear a story, stamp your feet. If you want to hear a story, if you want to hear a story, if you want to hear a story, stamp your feet. If you want to hear a story, sit still. If you want to hear a story, sit still. If you want to hear a story, if you want to hear a story, sit still. Our story today is called Snoozapalooza. And that little mouse looks like he's ready to have a snooze, doesn't he? And it's written by Kimberlee Gard. She's our author. She wrote the words. And it's illustrated by Vivian Mineker. She drew the pictures. And we're reading it today with permission from Familius books. Ooh, looks like nice and pretty out in that forest with all the snow. Snoozapalooza. A cold wind blows and snow starts to fall. Mouse hides in a den that's cozy and small. Snuggling into a wee-sized heap. One begins snoring and drifts off to sleep. He dozes and dreams, tucks out of sight. A snoozapalooza all day and all night. Snail crawls in, slipping under a leaf. Sealed up in her shell, she falls fast asleep. Snuggling into a tiny heap, now two are snoring. They both sound asleep. They doze and they dream, tucked out of sight. A snoozapalooza all day and all night. Mole tunnels up from under the ground. He sneaks in quietly, settling down, snuggling into a little heap. Now three are snoring. They all sound asleep. They doze and they dream, tucked out of sight. A snoozapalooza all day and all night. In from the cold comes weary chipmunk, nuzzling into a soft furry bunk, snuggling into a big heap. Now four are snoring, they all sound asleep. They doze and they dream, tucked out of sight. A snoozapalooza all day and all night. Hedgehog whirls by, slips sliding on ice, tumbling in where it's cozy and nice. Snuggling into a growing heap. Now five are snoring, they're all sound asleep. They doze and they dream, tucked out of sight. A Snoozapalooza all day and all night. Hey, look who's here. Rabbit scurries in, piling on, settling down with a stretch and a yawn. Snuggling into a rising heap, now 6 are snoring. They're all sound asleep. They doze and they dream, tucked out of sight. A Snoozapalooza all day and all night. Ooh, I'm getting a big pile of animals there. Skunk walks on tiptoe without a peep. She closes her eyes and nods off to sleep. Snuggling into a mighty heap, now 7 are snoring. They're all sound asleep. They doze and they dream, tucked out of sight. A Snoozapalooza all day and all night. A gust of wind whirls outside the den. Fox's teeth chatter, his fur stands on end. Snuggling into a grand-sized heap, now 8 are snoring. They're all sound asleep. They doze and they dream, tucked out of sight. A Snoozapalooza all day and all night. Sounds like a pajama party, doesn't it? Grumpy Badger bores into the hole and cuddles in between Rabbit and Mole. Snuggling into a giant heap, now 9 are snoring. They're all sound asleep. They doze and they dream, tucked out of sight. A Snoozapalooza all day and all night. Bear's cold and tired, he needs a rest. He squeezes inside and joins the snooze fest. Snuggling into a massive heap, now 10 are snoring. They're all sound asleep. They doze and they dream, tucked out of sight. A Snoozapalooza all day and all night. All snuggled up into the middle, they snore and they snooze from big to little. They snore and they snore and they snore some more. It's a zzz-sounding roar, rattling clear across the floor, rumbling right out the door. The other wood creatures tremble in fear. What's that sound? They all yell as they cover their ears. They look and search for the source of the roar. Then gape at the monstrous 10 animals snore. Wren has an idea and begins to sing. Tweet-a-tweet-tweet, through the woods her tiny voice rings. Robin joins the song, and then Chickadee deer nods and hums loudly with Wild Turkey. Elk bawls and crow calls, while moose snorts off-key. Wolf howls and squirrel chatters along noisily. The 10-voice chorus with sounds high and low sings above the snores, and their rowdy song goes. Wake up, wake up, wake up! Mouse opens an eye as light fills the den. He stretches and yawns with his other 9 friends. There he is, taking a big yawn. Their long nap is done, but they make a pact. Next winter, we promise, we'll all come back. And you can count on that. Just as we counted all the way through the story. And I think it must be spring. So everybody's wide awake and everything is in bloom. Yippee! Winter is over. That was a nice little Snoozapalooza. Are you ready for a nap? I think I am. And one more thing we have to talk about is our letter of the week. It is the letter H. Remember the big word we talked about? Hibernate? That begins with the letter H. And so does horse, heart, helicopter, hand, hippopotamus, hat, and hammer. All begin with the letter H. So your job today is to look around and see if you see or hear any words that begin with the letter H. If you do, tell someone and let them know that's our letter of the week. Next thing I want to tell you about is we've got a lot of books on sleeping and hibernation and what animals do in winter. So come on into the library and you can check one out. This is just a small sampling. And also, if you come into our lobby, we've got some nice little activity books that shows animals in winter. It's called Snowy Fun. So come into our lobby and you can take one. Until next week, bye-bye now.